Now Chuck Hiller steps in to meet off against hard-throwing right-hander Hank Fischer. Fischer has won 3 and lost 3. Last time against the Mets, he has won 4 and lost 3, and this year has won none and lost 1 facing New York. First pitch of the game, a breaking ball to Silver, strike 1 called. Braves won the opening ball game 5-1. Tony Cloninger going all the way to win his 11th game of the year. Here's the pitch on the way. Let up outside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hank Fischer cranks it up. A ground ball bounced on the right side, taken on a knee-high hop by Bolling. Trips the ball to first base to Joe Torre in time for the out. 1 down. That brings up Johnny Stephenson. Johnny playing in right field and hitting second in the order. Hank Fischer. Native of the New York area, delivers to the plate and it's fouled. A pack of stairs and out of play. Fischer has started 8 ball games this year. This is his 9th. Won 3 and lost 3. In 53 innings, has given up 57 hits. He has an earned run average of 4.2. Next pitch to Johnny Stephenson. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and the count strike 2. Wes Westrom coaching at first base. Don Hefner on the line for third. Yogi Berra will be back on the coaching lines for the game tomorrow night. Yogi's in Cleveland today for an Old Timers Day game. He might even get back before the second game is over. Outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Stephenson. Johnny was up twice in the opening ball game. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the 7th and grounded out. And bounced out in the 9th inning. One-two delivery. Swinging a miss, he struck him out. He got him with a breaking pitch. Right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WGY 810 of the dial and WGFM Schenectady. The time is 1 minute before 5.
Now Ron Swoboda is the hitter against Hank Fischer. The second ball game just underway. Braves won the opener 5-1. He holds up on the swing, and it's outside, ball 1. Ron went 0 for 4 in the first game today, but the last 3 times up, he really hit the ball hard. He hit line drives, but he came up empty when they were caught. Now Fischer out of his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball in at the knees for a call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield playing around deep and around toward left. Now the pitch is over. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Mets' string of successes on Monday will hold up with the game tomorrow night. What are they, Matt? 9-1 on Monday? Now the 1-2 delivery. Just got a piece of it, a foul ball on the ground, coming right straight back. We'll be on the air tomorrow night at 8:25 p.m. Final game of the series Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday night, the Mets will be in Pittsburgh. The 1-2 pitch. Change up, hit hard, a base hit down the left field line. Running for the ball is Philippe Alou. Ron Swoboda turns first, and he'll hold there. He timed his swing beautifully on Fischer's changeup and rammed a drive down the left field line for a long single. Eddie Kranepool drew a walk, otherwise was hitless and 3 times up in the first game. Eddie hitting .287 with 8 home runs and 39 runs batted in. Pitch thrown by Hank Fischer, a breaking ball that's in the dirt. No advance on the baselines because the ball bounced out in front. Might have been a mix-up there, and Oliver wants to talk to his pitcher. We've had a beautiful day in Milwaukee. See a cloud bank now starting to form up on the horizon. The weatherman has been talking about possible showers later this afternoon. Now Fischer up in pitching position, delivers to Kranepool. A swing and a miss. He went right after the high hard one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Eddie. Eddie taking his spikes down, trying to smooth out the batter's box. Joe Torre about a stride off the bag at first with Kranepool hitting. The base runner is Ron Swoboda, 2 men down. Ground ball hit through the hole, a base hit to right. Ron goes around second. He's going to hold there. Ball being thrown in by the right fielder, Henry Aaron. So now the Mets have back-to-back hits by Ron Swoboda and Eddie Kranepool. That brings up Charley Smith. Charley had 1 hit and 3 times up. He also drew a walk in the first game. He got cut on the leg again yesterday. This cut, not nearly as severe as the last one he sustained in the Cincinnati series back at Shea Stadium, but he was cut just under the knee, and it's a little bit stiff and sore today. Let up is high. 1 ball, no strike. Runners on first and second, 2 men down, top half of the first inning. Now Hank Fischer checks his runners. Here's his pitch on the way. And the fastball comes in too high. 2 balls, no strike. This afternoon, the Mets are playing their 13th doubleheader of the season. They play a lot of doubleheaders. Now the pitch on the way. Inside of the letters, ball 3, 3-0. Hank Fischer lost to Gary Kroll 6-3 at Shea Stadium on June 28th. In doubleheaders this year, the Mets have swept 4 doubleheaders. They have been swept in 4. And they gained a split in 4. So they're 500 ball in 12 doubleheaders. A shot hit through the hole, a base hit to left field. Swoboda will try and score. Here comes the peg from Philippe Liu. He is safe. The ball gets by the catcher, Oliver. Racing on to third is Kranepool. And on to second base goes Charley Smith. Well, Oliver threw a beautiful decoy into Ron Swoboda. So beautiful that had the ball been handled, Ron might have been out. He didn't slide. He came in standing up. Oliver just stood straight up as though there wasn't going to be any play at all at home plate. Ron took the bait, came in standing up, but fortunately for the Mets, the throw could not be handled by Oliver. Sailed through, had to be backed up by Hank Fischer. Red Oliver appealed to umpire Chris Salakudis, contending that Swoboda had missed the plate. Such is not the case. It'll be a run batted in for Charley Smith on the base hit. And we'll wait for the additional scoring, which enabled Kranepool to go to third. And Smith to second, and the error will be charged to the catcher. Now first base is open, and Johnny Lewis will be intentionally walked. Johnny Lewis drawing the intentional pass. Bobby Klaus, the on-deck batter, he'll be coming up with the bases loaded. Johnny Lewis receiving the intentional walk. So Bobby Klaus comes up with the bases loaded, 2 down, 1 run in. Boy, that was quite a possum act that Oliver got Ron Swoboda to go for it. Now, as Fischer runs into a flurry of trouble here in the opening inning, we have help being sent to the bullpen. Dick Kelly, a left-hander, starts to warm up. Bobby Klaus hitting with the bases loaded, 2 down. Kranepool is on third. Smith on second. Lewis on first. He has to hit the dirt to get out of the way. Way inside, driving him back. 1 ball and no strike. Chris Cannizzaro is the on-deck batter. Now Fischer out of his windup. The pitch, fastball, a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. They're in the last of the 9th inning in Cincinnati, with the Bucks leading Cincinnati 6-5. Pittsburgh got 4 runs in the 8th inning. 1-1 delivery. He holds up on a curve and it's low. 2 balls and a strike. Three hits in a row, producing a run. The Mets lead 1-0, and they have the bases jammed. 2 men down. Bobby Klaus playing shortstop. This is the first ball game all year that Roy McMillan has not started. Now the 2-1 delivery. A ground ball hit hard. A base hit down the left field line. Kranepool will score. Charley Smith is coming down to score. Johnny Lewis goes to third, and Klaus to second with a double. So Bobby Klaus makes the brave strategy backfire. They walk Johnny Lewis playing percentage baseball to pitch to the right-hand hitter. But Bobby sliced a hot grounder over the bag and down the left field line, driving 2 runs in. Mets lead 3-0, and Chris Cannizzaro comes up. Cannizzaro hitting with runners on second and third, 2 down. The Mets have scored 3 runs after 2 men were out. Now Fischer into his windup. Down comes his pitch. Fouled off, strike 1. It's all over in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, with 4 runs in the 8th inning, came from behind to defeat Cincinnati 6-5. Don Swall, the winner in relief, and Roger Craig, the loser, in relief. Rose and Simpson homered for the Reds, and Willie Stargell hit a 2-run homer for the Bucks. For Stargell, his 22nd of the year, he's only 1 behind the pace setter, Willie Mays. Pitch to Cannizzaro, a swing and a miss on a high hard one. Now Fischer out in front on the count, takes his sign from Gene Oliver. Johnny Lewis on third, Bobby Klaus on second. It's over, strike 3 call. Cannizzaro is caught looking at a breaking ball. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. The score in the middle of the first, the Mets 3 and the Braves coming to bat. Say, if somebody offers you a Sapico, don't eat it. Dance it like this.
The Hasapico is spirited and lively. It makes Greek Americans feel like dancing, and dance they do, until they work up a fearful thirst. Then they call for different music. Nina Nai Nai is music a Greek drinks to. He'll sit down, call for a beer, probably wrangled extra dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Greeks than in all of Sparta, more people drink Wrangled than any other beer. And Wrangled is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Greek Americans like Wrangled? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
Left fielder Philippe Liu leads off against Gary Kroll in the last half of the first inning. Frank Bolling hitting second, and then Henry Aaron batting third. Gary has won 5 and lost 5. Gary picked up 2 victories on the last homestand in long relief, turning in 2 very impressive stints, going over 5 innings and each to be rewarded with a victory. Pitch thrown by Gary Kroll gets the outside corner to Felipe Liu, strike 1. Charley Smith singled home a run, and Bobby Klaus doubled 2 runs in as the Mets got 3 in the top half of the first inning. Gary Kroll out of his windup. Pitch thrown to Liu is outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Against Milwaukee this year, Gary has won 1 and lost 1. 1-1 delivery. Fastball on the inside corner for a call strike. Braves won the first game 5-1. They've now won 5 straight. It's popped up in foul territory. Cannizzaro comes back near the backstop, takes it for the out. Gary Kroll fooled Felipe Alou with his motion that time. He had him lunging for the pitch. 1 out and nobody on. Frank Bolling, the hitter. Frank hitting .280 with 30 runs batted in. Now Kroll out of his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. A fly ball in the air to right field. Standing there waiting is Johnny Stephenson, and he has it for the out. He didn't have to move. 2 down, nobody on. That brings up Henry Aaron. Well, Tracy Stallard went all the way, pitching a 5-hitter as the Cardinals beat the Phillies in the first game today in St. Louis, 3-1. Tracy now has won 7 and lost 3. He has the second best ERA among the Cardinal starters. Henry Aaron, the batter, on the pitch inside of the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. The Houston Astros lead the Giants 4-1 after 4.5. Claude Raymond pitching for Houston. Masanori Murakami has replaced Gaylord Perry. Dodgers 1 and the Cubs nothing after 4.5. Buell dueling Nick Wilhite. Breaking ball outside, 2-0 on Henry Aaron. The Red Sox lead the Indians 4-1 going to the last of the 9th inning. Raditz is on in relief. He's been in since the 6th inning. Now the fastball gets the outside corner, 2-1. Wally Bunker pitched a 4-hitter as the Orioles clipped Detroit 4-1. Mike McCormick hurled a 2-hit shutout as Washington beat the Yankees 3-0. Drive in the air to center field is deep. Back goes Johnny Lewis to the warning track. He's got it. Johnny back on the warning track, right up against the canvas to pull in the long drive hit by Henry Aaron. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 1 inning, the New York Mets 3, Milwaukee Braves nothing. Next Saturday afternoon, the nostalgic day at Shea Stadium with that great rivalry between the Dodgers and the Giants being staged once again. The Dodger pitchers coming back for the old-timer game, Burley Grimes, Carl Erskine, Don Newcomb, Van Lingo Mungo, and Big Ralph Branca. Roy Campanella and Mickey Owen will be there in the Dodger uniforms. And so will infielders Dolph Camilli, Eddie Stanky, Pee Wee Reese, and Augie Gallant. And outfielders like Max Carey and Zach Wheat. Joe Medwick, Casey Stengel, Lefty O'Doul, and Babe Ehrman. And their rivals from the Polo Grounds history, pitchers like Carl Hubble and Sal Magley, Rube Marquardt and Big Jim Hearn, and Hal Schumacher. The backstops, Wes Westrom, Harry Denning, Paul Richards, and Bubba Gennard. In the infield, the ex-Giants, George Kelly, John Myers, Frank Frisch, Huey Kreitz, Dave Bancroft, Dick Bartell, Travis Jackson, and Freddie Lindstrom. The Giant outfielders coming back for the big day, Ed Roush, Monty Irvin, JoJo Moore, and Bobby Thompson. So if you haven't made your plans yet or have purchased your tickets for the Old Timers Day game next Saturday, we hope you'll do so right away. Gary Kroll is up against Hank Fischer, and he pops the ball up. A foul ball outside first. Moving over is Joe Torre, and Joe makes the grab. Gary retired on one pitch. That brings up Chuck Hiller at the top of the batting order. Chuck 0 for 1, bounced out to second base in the first inning. He bluffs at a bunt, then takes the pitch, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Chuck had a single and a home run in the first ball game. He got the only run given up by Tony Cloninger. Now Chuck steps out of the batter's box to get a handful of dirt. The game is over in Cleveland with Dick Raditz coming on in relief in the sixth inning and closing the game out. Boston beat Cleveland 4-1. Moorhead, the starting pitcher, was the winner. Kralik, the losing pitcher. Serve inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chuck Hiller. Baltimore beat Detroit 4-1. Washington beat the Yankees 3-0. The Angels beat Minnesota 5-3. That's the first game of a doubleheader at Minnesota. And the A's, who have been troublesome of late, are tied with the White Sox 2-2 going to the 10th inning. Ground ball with a big high hop down to third. Mathews guns the peg just in time to get Hiller. As remember, Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. Johnny Stephenson is playing in right field and hitting second in the order. Breaking ball, a strike on the outside corner. Johnny was struck out in the first inning. If Johnny Stephenson never played another Major League ball game, he would always be remembered by Jim Bunning. Line drive, a base hit to right field. Henry Aaron plays the ball back in, and Johnny's on with a clean single, a line shot through the hole. Stephenson was the last man to face Jim Bunning when Bunning pitched the perfect ball game at Shea Stadium. He struck him out. Now Ron Swoboda is the batter. It was Ron who started things off at the opening inning for New York when he singled to left field. He timed his swing just right on Fischer's changeup and hit a line drive down the left field line. Outside and low, 1 ball, no strike. Now Fischer up in pitching position. Delivers to Ron Swoboda. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. So far this afternoon in the American League pennant race, the Orioles have picked up a game by winning with Minnesota losing their first ball game. Ground ball bounced to short, handled by Woody Woodward. He fires across to Torre in time, and the side is out. He has a good arm. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of an inning and a half, the score, Mets 3 and the Braves nothing. Now it's time for another unusual fact from the Viceroy Hall of Records. You know, the umpires around the league today keep themselves pretty well covered. They wear face masks and shin guards, chest protectors, and all of an umpire's usual armor. You know what the umpire of the first baseball game in Berlin, Germany wore? A real suit of armor. Sure would like to have seen that. But here's something you're seeing around lately. More and more fans are smoking Viceroy. And no wonder. Viceroy is specifically designed to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong like some brands that taste as if they didn't have a filter. And not too light like some others. You know the kind. They just don't seem to satisfy your taste. But when you light up a Viceroy, you get the filter cigarette that's not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. The taste that's right.
In the second inning, Gene Oliver, the cleanup batter, comes up against Gary Kroll. Gary, the tall right-hander from Culver City, California, delivers a high fly, well hit. Back to the track goes Johnny Lewis by the fence. Makes the catch. 400 feet out. Johnny Lewis had his back right up against the canvas, reached up and made the grab. Here on the last out in the first inning put Johnny Lewis on the warning track at center field. 1 out and nobody on. The batter is Eddie Mathews. Eddie hit 2 home runs in the first game today. He now has 19 for the year. Ball 1 is taken high. The outfield swung around toward right. Now Gary into his windup delivers. Outside the high, 2 balls and no strikes. Eddie leads the Milwaukee Braves and runs batted in. He's knocked 55 runs in. Now the pitch on the way. Taken low and inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the 3-0 delivery. On the outside corner for a called strike. Well, Lou Ness advises us that Yogi Berra is already back from the Old Timers Day game in Cleveland. They brought back the 1954 All-Stars. Outside and high, it's ball 4. Mathews goes down to first base. And the Mets fans can be proud of Yogi. In Cleveland today, they held their Old Timers Day game. They had the 54 Cleveland club that won the pennant by winning 111 games. And they had the members of the 1954 American League All-Star team. They had an Old-Timers Day game, and you know what happened? Well, Yogi hit a 3-run homer to win the ball game, 3-0. Inside the high. Gary Kroll running into a little trouble with his control, and now Cannizzaro goes out to the mound to talk to him. Well, Yogi will get a lot of good-natured ribbing. Everybody will be happy for him. Yogi hitting a 3-run homer. The American League 1954 All-Stars beat the 1954 Cleveland Club 3-0. He really hustled to get back here. Can you imagine? He's already been to Cleveland, participated in the Old Timers Day game, and arrived back in Milwaukee. 2 balls and no strikes on Joe Torre. Gary Kroll out of the strike zone on his last 6 pitches. Now the pitch to Torre, a swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, 2-1. Mets leading 3-0. We're in the last half of the second. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball hammered hard. A base hit through the hole to left field. Eddie Mathews turns second and stops there. Ron Swoboda plays the ball back to Klaus. Now the Braves are mounting a threat. Runners on first and second. 1 down. Mack Jones coming up. Jones hitting .268 with 16 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Braves have 5 players in their regular lineup in double figures in home runs. Inside of the knees, 1 ball and no strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball up high, and Gary running into some serious trouble. Is behind now on Jones, 2-0. Chris Cannizzaro out in front of home plate trying to smooth things out. Jones, a dangerous hitter, bats left-handed. They play him deep in the outfield and a little around toward right. Now the pitch back roll. Foul ball back toward the screen and out of play. Kroll in pitching position delivers to Jones. A smash off the mound into center field. A base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Mathews. The play will be at third. It's cut off by Bobby Klaus. Looked like had the ball been allowed to come through, it might have had a shot at Joe Torre, but you can't tell for sure. Runners on first and third are run out as Jones singles to center. And Casey's going to make a trip to the mound. So while Casey is walking to the mound, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on the mile. This is WGY and WGFM Schenectady.
Hey, Woody, go sit down.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Braves have just scored their first run. The Mets now lead 3-1. The Braves have the tying runs at first and third, 1 out, and the batter is Woody Woodward. And now Bobby Brigham sends the sign to the bullpen for Dick Kelly to loosen up in a hurry. Woody Woodward is being called back to the dugout. Mike Delahose is in the on-deck circle as a potential pinch hitter. Mike Delahose is going to bat for shortstop Woody Woodward as the Braves make an early move to try and get it right back. Delahose hitting .253 with 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. And Dick Kelly is warming in the bullpen in case Bobby Brigham wants to send a hitter up for Hank Fischer, his pitcher. Gary Kroll suddenly running into trouble on a walk and 2 base hit. So Mack Jones is on first, Joe Torre on third. Now the pitch on the way, low and inside. Now Tug Mcgraw starts warming up for the Mets. Mike Delahose, stocky right-hand batter. Mets have the infield at double play depth, the stride around to left. Now Kroll eyes the runner and lobs over to first base. Now a quick throw to first, not in time. Now Gary Kroll in the set position delivers to Delahose, and it's fouled back into the upper deck and out of play. Skies becoming increasingly cloudy. However, there does not appear to be any threat of rain.
Come on, Mike.
Gary Kroll is certainly one of the most deliberate pitchers in the entire National League. He takes a lot of time working on the mound. They always kid Casey and say, don't pitch Gary on getaway day. You might miss your plane or your train. A 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball outside and low. A throw to first, not in time. Now Gary goes to the rising bag. Turns his back to home plate and just kind of looks things over. Now the pitch to Delahose, a swing and a miss. He went after a high hard one. So the count on the pinch hitter, Mike Delahose, is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves have a run in. They trail 3-1, and they have the tying runs on at first and third.
Come on, get the bat on the ball.
Now Gary steps up, and no throw is made. Gary does not become real deliberate until they get somebody on. But the minute the opposition gets a base runner, he slows the pace way down. The 2-2 delivery. A line drive hit over second base. Caught by Bobby Klaus. Ball wasn't hit hard. It was hit off the end of the bat. It was a line drive, but it was a soft one. And Klaus had time to run over behind second and grab it. Looked like it might bloop over second into short center. Now Fischer is being called back to the dugout, and Ty Klein is around the bat rack. Ty Klein is down around the bat rack, and he's coming out to bat for Hank Fischer. So the Braves will present a new pitcher in the third inning. Ty has a batting average of 192. Klein is very fast and is oftentimes used as a late inning defensive replacement by Bobby Bergen. Runners on first and third, 2 men down. Ty Klein is batting for the pitcher, Hank Fischer. Bobby Bergen making 2 early moves here in the second inning, trying to tie the ball game up. Fastball in, strike 1. Cannizzaro bluffing a throw to first. Joe Gibbon and Joey J. are the second game pitchers at Cincinnati this afternoon. Pittsburgh came from behind, scoring 4 in the 8th inning to beat the Reds 6-5 in the first game. Pitch thrown to Klein is off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers, who lead the National League by a game and a half at this moment, leads Chicago 1-0 going to the 7th inning at Dodger Stadium. The 1-1 delivery. A drive in the air to left center field. It's sinking in for a base hit. Torre comes in to score. The play is going to third, not in time. A quick throw to second, not in time. Line hit and fly. Goes to second on the throw to third base. The Fine delivers. He hit a soft line drive into left center field for a base hit. Jones went to third, and then Klein went around to second on the throw to third. 3-2. Mets lead set to a run, and Philippe Liu is batting now with runners on second and third. Now Kroll into his windup. The pitch, swing and a miss on a curve, strike one. Braves have a lot of hitting in their lineup, and right now they're in one of those good spurts in addition to it. Way outside, a lunging grab by Chris Cannizzaro. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kroll with that big windup. Down comes his pitch to Philippe. Outside and high. 2 balls and a strike. The Braves have 2 runs in on a walk and 3 hits. Doug Mcgraw has been on call in the Mets bullpen. Curve sweeps over the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mack Jones, the lead runner on third. He's the tying run for Milwaukee. And Ty Klein is on second. 2-2 delivery. Ground ball hit down to third. Taken foul by Charley Smith. Everybody's safe. The game is tied. Jones comes in. An error charge for Charley Smith, and the ball game is tied. Runners on first and third. The game tied 3-3. 2 men down. Frank Bolling is the hitter. He is the 8th man to hit in the inning. Mets had the third out in the making, but it was fouled by Charley Smith. Now Kroll off the stretch. Delivers a strike on the outside corner at the knee. Braves will have a new pitcher, a left-hander, Dick Kelly, in the ball game in the third inning. There goes the runner, a swing and a miss. Cannizzaro pegs to third, safe. They concede the stolen base to Philippe Liu and take a shot at getting Ty Klein, but Klein slid back in safely. Stolen base for Liu, and now the Braves have runners on second and third. A 2-strike count on the hitter, Frank Bolling. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Gary Kroll fans Frank Bolling, and the side is out. But the Braves tie up the ball game. They score 3 runs. There were 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. At the end of 2 innings, it's the Mets 3 and the Braves 3. Next Sunday will be Casey's single day at Shea Stadium in honor of the 75th birthday of the Mets skipper. Casey turns 75 on July 30th. The Mets will be in Philadelphia playing a ball game with the Phillies then. So this will actually be the last home date prior to his birthday. New York City Mayor Robert Wagner has proclaimed Friday, July 23rd, Casey's single day in New York City, and Casey will be honored in ceremonies at City Hall. In announcing the honoring of Casey, the mayor said, "There's great personal pleasure in the opportunity to recognize Casey's contributions to baseball and the city of New York at such a significant milestone in his remarkable career. It's all part of a big weekend against the Phillies at Shea Stadium Friday night, Old Timers Day Saturday afternoon, and a doubleheader with Casey's birthday celebration on Sunday. Now we'll have changes in the Milwaukee lineup as the game goes to the third inning. The Braves will have a new pitcher in the ball game and a new shortstop in the ball game, and to tell you all about it and detail the action for you, here's Ralph Kiner.
Well, the new pitcher in the ball game is Dick Kelly. Dick making his 12th appearance. He has an 0-1 record. Relieving Hank Fischer, who was taken out for a pinch hitter. Playing shortstop, De La Hoz, who replaced Bill Woodward as a pinch hitter in the second inning. De La Hoz will bat in the 8th position, and the pitcher coming in the ball game, Dick Kelly, will bat in the pitcher's position, the 9th position. So it's a 3-3 game. It's Gary Kroll now against Dave Kelly. Hank Fischer, the starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Braves, off the hook. He gave up in 2 innings, 3 runs, allowed 5 base hits. First man up for the Mets will be Eddie Kranepool, who singled into right field his first time up. Base hit by Kranepool, his first in the doubleheader. The first game is won by the Braves 5-1 as Tony Cronenzier picked up his 11th win. Dave Kelly, a left-hand pitcher in the ball game, getting set to go against Ed Kranepool. And the first pitch by Kelly is a called strike, a fastball over the outside. And the pitch back hit down toward short. De La Hoz up with the ball. He underhands the first base and picks up the out. 1 man out in the top of the third. The score is 3-3, and the batter coming up is Charley Smith. Charley with his RBI now at 32. He's batting .271. He takes the first pitch, a called strike. Skies are getting more overcast as there is a prediction of rain for later on. First ball game played in bright sunlight. 1 strike delivery too far inside. A breaking ball, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Dick Kelly, a left-hander, looking for the signs from catcher Gene Oliver. And the 1-1 delivery, taken outside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Action in the National League. Pittsburgh defeated Cincinnati 6-5. St. Louis defeated Philadelphia 3-1. At the end of 6, it's Houston 4. San Francisco 2. Taylor and Herbo, the opposing pitchers. A swing and a foul ball back, and the count now moving along to 2 balls and 2 strikes. At the end of 6.5 innings, Chicago 2, the Dodgers 1. Billy Heft replacing Bob Buell for the Cubs. Miller has replaced Wilhite for the Dodgers. 2-2 pitch it off the hand slowly down to third base. Eddie Mathews comes up with it, goes over to first base for the out. So 2 away on the ground. It brings up Johnny Lewis. Johnny was walked intentionally in the first inning to load the bases. Bobby Klaus came through with a double to not give any points to Bobby Bragan's strategy. Mets scoring 2 runs in the double. They're second and third. This game tied at 3-3 now with 2 away in the top of the third. Lewis moves up as though to bunt. It's taken outside ball 1. Third ball breaking away. Frank Bolling at second base playing a step in and head of the grass. And now the left-hander back again. And again Lewis moves up to bunt and takes the fastball. That's in for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lewis is 0 for 4 today. His average now dropping down to .253. Mets had 6 base hits in the ball game in the first game, as did the Braves. But the Braves won it 5-1. A ground ball hit down toward short. Moving to his left is De La Hoz. He's up with it. He throws to first base for the out. So Kelly gets 3 on the ground, retires the side, and a score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Mets 3 and the Milwaukee Braves 3. You've been wondering what Swedish Americans sing after the smorgasbord. Listen to this.
To arrive song that Swedish Americans sing over and over at their parties and picnics until they raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune. Hejlan Går is a traditional Swedish drinking song, and often the beer they drink is Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Swedes than in all of Husqvarna, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Swedish Americans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
Braves coming up in the bottom half of the third. The score tied at 3-3, and the man that started off for Milwaukee will be the right fielder, Hank Aaron. Hank was out on that line drive to center field his first time up. Deep center field, a good play in the ball by Johnny Lewis. And Gary Kroll starts off with a breaking pitch that's outside for ball one. It'll be Hank Aaron, Gene Oliver, and Eddie Mathews against Gary Kroll here in the third. Gary has given up 3 runs, allowed 3 hits. They all came in the second. Now a line drive into left field, a base hit. Ron Swoboda over to one-handed. And he holds Hank Aaron first base as he throws the ball on in. That was a line drive over the head of Charley Smith in the left field. And the Braves have their fourth base hit. And they have the tie-breaking run at first base with no one out and Gene Oliver coming up. Oliver flied out to the deepest part of center field his first time up. Ball being held up by the wind blowing in from left center field. Aaron at first base, a good base runner. He draws a throw, but no tag made by Ed Kranepool. Aaron batting at .321 after the base hit. Oliver at .266. New ball being put in play by Chris Pellicudis. Umpires in this ball game, Pellicudis behind home plate, Paul Pryor at first base, and Bill Jakowski at second. Ed Vargo, who called the first ball game, down at third. Doug Mcgraw on the base hit by Hank Aaron, up and throwing in the bullpen again for the Mets. Now it's Gary Kroll back to work, and a curveball is outside. 1 ball, no strike. Oliver's been on a hitting streak for the Milwaukee Braves in his last 5 ball games, not counting this one. 9 for 17 with 9 runs batted in. 0 for 1 in this. Kroll sets again, throws to first base. Again, no tag by Kranepool. Hank Aaron back safely. Hank has stolen 12 bases and 13 tries. He represents the tying run, so Gary's trying to hold him close. He quickly pitches back to the plate. The ball is low and inside, ball 2. Sinking fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Gary has a record of 5-5. In this ball game, he has been very wild with his pitches. Has walked only 1 batter. But he has been behind constantly and has been missing considerably. Next pitch is hit foul, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike on Gene Oliver. Gary making his 10th start and 22nd appearance here against the Milwaukee Braves. Only 1 pitcher on the Mets staff has a winning percentage. That Larry Bernard's at 3-2. Gary Kroll of the regular pitchers at 500, 5-5. Aaron bluffs the move toward second. Now goes, gets a big jump, but he won't have to run. This is gone. A long home run to left field, and the ball game now is untied. To left field, his 8th home run and 29th and 30th runs batted in, and that is going to be all for Gary Kroll. Milwaukee taking the lead by a score of 5-3. Doug Mcgraw being called in from the bullpen. And And so Gary Kroll goes out with officially 2 innings of work, the same as Hank Fischer, the starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Braves. In that time, Gary charged with 5 runs. He allowed 5 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. And it's going to be left-hander Frank Doug Mcgraw. Frank will be making his 21st appearance. Every one in relief, and he has an 0-1 record. Mets took the early lead by scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Milwaukee came back to tie it up with 3 runs in the bottom half of the second, and now in the bottom half of the third, they've added 2 more to take the lead by a score of 5-3. Milwaukee 5 runs on 5 hits. The Mets have 3 runs and 5. And while we wait for Doug Mcgraw to take his warm-up pitches, we'll check the score. Pittsburgh won the first game over Cincinnati 6-5 by scoring 4 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Losing pitcher Roger Craig, who pitched in the 8th inning along with Arrigo. Winning pitcher was John Swall in relief. Rose, Pinson, and Stargell home runs. Stargell number 22 now. In the second ball game with Joe Gibbon pitching against Joey J., it's 0-0 after 1. St. Louis defeated Philadelphia 3-1. The winning pitcher Tracy Stoddard, a 5-hitter. He went all the way. His record now 7-3. Losing pitcher Bo Belinsky. Home runs by Callison, Brock, and McCarver. At the end of 7 innings, Houston leading San Francisco 4-2. Taylor has relieved Claude Raymond for the Astros. Lindsey now pitching for San Francisco. Perry was the starting pitcher. Gentile and Schofield home runs both in the 4th with no one on. At the end of 7, it's Chicago 2, the Dodgers 1. Heft has relieved Bob Buell in the ballgame. Miller now pitching for the Dodgers in place of Nick Rohite. Now the Cubs have added 1 more, a home run coming through with Ron Sanho hitting a home run with no one on. They lead by a score of 3-1. They're still batting in the top of the 8th. In the American League, Boston over Cleveland 4-1 as Moorhead was the winning pitcher. Baltimore defeated Detroit 4-1. Bunker was the winning pitcher. Washington shut out the Yankees 3-0. The winning pitcher was Newman. Correction, the winning pitcher was McCormick. He went all the way. The losing pitcher was Mickelson. Home runs in the game, only 1. Frank out in the 6th with no one on. A 2-hitter pitched by Mike McCormick. Dodgers over Minnesota 5-3. In the first game as Newman was the winning pitcher. In the second game as Minnesota 2. The Angels 1. McBride against Grant. That game after 1. And the first pitch is fouled. Back on the screen as Eddie Mathews fouls off Doug McGraw's first. No one away in the bottom half of the third. The Milwaukee Braves lead 5-3. Mathews walked in the 3-1 pitch his first time up and scored the first one of the game for the Braves. Had 2 home runs in the first game. He takes a curveball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Eddie now at 19 home runs. And then the 1-1 pitch, the curve back high again. It's ball 2. Two and 1 on Eddie Mathews. On deck batter, Joe Torre. And the left-hander back again. Fastball inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Home run by Gene Oliver. The 9th home run that Gary Kroll has given up. The Mets pitchers have given up a total of 79 runs. Home runs. 3-1 pitch inside, ball 4. Mcgraw walks his first man. So the Braves keep it going, no one away in the bottom half of the third. They lead 5-3, and it brings up Joe Torre. Joe, 25 years old today. Had his first base hit in the doubleheader his first time up in the second. Later on, scored a run. Right-hand batter. 17 home runs with 49 runs batted in. Batting .310. And the first pitch is hit down the right field line, certainly foul. Ball going foul down the line. Eddie Mathews, who is on his way to third, goes back toward first. And right now we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on the dial. This is WGY and WGFM Schenectady.
Ralph Kiner, along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Braves leading 5-3 with no one out in the bottom half of the third. Eddie Mathews at first base. Doug Mcgraw fakes the throw there after backing off the pitching rubber. Now Mcgraw steps on again. And his pitch to Torre is in the dirt, bouncing by the catcher Cannizzaro, and moving down on the wild pitch to second base is Eddie Mathews. Cannizzaro back to the screen to get the ball, and Mathews, after rounding second, goes back toward the bag. One ball, one strike count. Now the sign out again to Mcgraw. He sets, looks at second base. And the 1-1 delivery to Torre is fouled to the right side, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. This inning started with the score tied at 3-3. Hank Aaron led off with a line drive single to left field, and as he was moving toward second base, Gene Oliver hit a long home run to left field to make the score 5-3. Eddie Mathews batting against Mcgraw, who was brought in the game when the home run knocked Gary Kroll out of the box, and then walked. Change-up swung on and missed. He struck him out. A good change of pace by Tug Mcgraw to get Joe Torre. One away, and it brings up Mack Jones. Jones singled and drove in the run in the second inning. 1 for 1 in the ball game, batting at .271. Home run hit by Gene Oliver, number 109 for the Milwaukee Braves hitters. First pitch to Mack Jones, a fastball, strike one, a hard swing. Pitch out of the strike zone, but Jones going for it nevertheless. One strikeout. Braves lead 5-3. A runner at second base. And Mcgraw back again. This time a curve, but it's just low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Mcgraw at 1-1. Throws, and the ball is hit foul to the right side. The count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck batter is Mike De La Hoz. Now Mcgraw in position again. His 1-2 delivery, curveball too high, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 on Mack Jones. Jones stands with a closed stance, deep in the batter's box. And the next pitch back is hit foul to the left side out of play. Mcgraw with a new ball. Doug is 20 years of age. Resides in Vallejo, California, 6 foot tall, 170. And his pitch back to the plate as a curveball hit foul. The other day, after a workout, went into the Mets clubhouse. He had just finished cutting Jack Fisher's hair, and he was working on another. And there wasn't a drop of blood around. That is his hobby, cutting hair. He does it for free, but I guess the risk that you take is worth the price. And the next pitch is fastball. Called strike 3. Brown sneaking a fastball back on the outside corner, picking up his second strikeout in a row. And that brings up Mike De La Hoz. Mike was a pinch hitter in the ballgame for the starting shortstop, Bill Woodward. Mike looped a line drive back at second, which Bobby Klaus made a good play on. Two men out. On at second base is Eddie Mathews. The score 5-3, and the first pitch to De La Hoz is taken low, ball 1. Breaking pitch down too low. All 5 runs and 5 hits in the ball game by the Braves, going against starting pitcher Gary Kroll. 1 ball, no strikes. Mcgraw back with a curve that's too low for ball 2. With Eddie Mathews at second base, Mcgraw throwing 2 good low curve balls, missing both times, but he has first base open with the pitcher, the scheduled batter up after De La Hoz. 2 balls, no strikes. Mcgraw looked at second and back to the plate. And a curveball is in the dirt. It's blocked nicely by Cannizzaro, and Mathews holds at second. Count goes up to 3 balls and no strikes. Now the charge call being played here at County Stadium. Last year and 2 years prior to that, they had a fellow who wore a Hawaiian-type straw hat that used to go through the stands playing charge. He gave up on the Braves, and the Braves gave up on Milwaukee. He has not been around. This bugle call coming from a stranger. Mcgraw after a conference with Chris Cannizzaro, now back on the mound. 3-0 as he pitches to Mike De La Hoz, and the pitch is way outside for ball 4. That was sort of a semi-intentional walk. It brings up the pitcher. Dick Kelly. Dick has been at bat 5 times with no base hits. He's a left-hand pitcher, and he bats from the right-hand side. So the Braves have 2 base runners now, both on walks. Eddie Mathews down to second base. De La Hoz at first, and the first pitch to Kelly is a called strike. One strike count. Mcgraw look at second and back again. And a curveball is swung on and fouled down in the dirt, strike 2. So after 4 in a row to walk De La Hoz, Mcgraw has picked up 2 quick strikes for an 0-2 count with 2 men away in the bottom half of the third. Braves lead 5-3. They scored 2 here in the third on a 2-run home run by Gene Oliver. A 2-strike delivery, a high outside fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves sent 8 men to the plate in the second when they scored 3 runs on 3 hits. Here in the third, they have sent up 7. Now at 1 ball and 2 strikes, a curve back that's too high. Count evens out at 2 balls and 2. Shadows extending halfway out between home plate and the pitcher's mound now. And Mcgraw in the set position and back to the plate. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So Tug Mcgraw in his first inning strikes out the side, issuing 2 walks and leaving 2. And the score at the end of 3, Milwaukee 5, the Mets 3. Can you imagine a Puerto Rican party without music? Don't try. Just listen to this.
Temporal is a song Puerto Ricans sing over and over at their parties and picnics until they raise a fearful thirst. Then they change their tune. This Choriao is the song a Puerto Rican drinks to. He'll sit down, call for a beer, probably Rheingold extra dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Puerto Ricans than in all of San Juan, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Puerto Ricans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
3 behind us now. Milwaukee 5 runs and 5 hits. The Mets have 3 runs and 5. Milwaukee in the bottom half of the third, scoring the 2 tie-breaking runs on a 2-run home run by Gene Oliver. So in the bottom half of the third, Milwaukee had 2 runs on 2 hits. Ed Mcgraw, who was called in the game after the home run, struck out the side, walked 2. 2 men were left. Here in the top of the fourth, the first batter will be Bobby Klaus, who doubled in 2 runs his first time up. And he takes the first pitch from Dick Kelly. It's low for ball 1. And at first base, fellow who played a ball game today in Cleveland, flew an airplane all the way from Cleveland to Milwaukee, and put on a uniform, Yogi Berra. His home run won the All-Star Old Timers Day game in Cleveland, 3-0. Pitch back to the plate. It's taken by Bobby Klaus. And the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. Yogi coaching at first base, John Hefner at third. Kelly back at 2-0 and missing for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. It'll be Bobby Klaus, Chris Cannizzaro, and Tug Mcgraw here against Dick Kelly. 3-0 pitch, a fastball in. It's strike 1. Well, evidently, Yogi doesn't like Cleveland too well to get out of there that fast. 3-1 pitch. In for a strike. So it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Klaus taking all the way, and the count goes down the line. Dick Kelly at 3-2, and a pitch inside ball 4, and Bobby reaches for the second time. The first time on a double, and now on a walk. That is the first walk issued by Dick Kelly, and the Mets have their lead batter on in the top of the fourth as they trail 5-3, and it brings up Chris Cannizzaro. Chris struck out. He was called out his first time up, leaving runners at second and third. Mets scored their 3 runs in the first inning when they sent 8 men up. Got 4 base hits. And Kelly now to Cannizzaro. The pitch is foul to the right side, strike 1. 8 attendance here today, 12,127. Total attendance with Little Leaguers, etc. It's Little League Day, 16,741. And the Braves now in 41 home dates have drawn 252,324. One strike pitch. It's inside corner for a call strike 2. Slider by Dick Kelly, and Cannizzaro discusses the situation with Chris Cannizzaro. Cannizzaro walking away from the batter's box. Chris objected to the call when he was called out in the first. Two-strike count, and Cannizzaro still talking with Felipe, the home plate umpire. In the bullpen now, Larry Bernard's warming up, and there is a possibility that the Mets might go to a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Tug Mcgraw, who is scheduled up next. 2-strike pitch, a fastball through, strike 3. So Cannizzaro's been called out on strikes his 2 times up, and Tug Mcgraw is going to come into bat. Tug has batted 1 official time so far this year. He has appeared in 21 baseball games for the Mets, but has been at that only 1 time, this making the second. Right-hand batter. And Mcgraw takes Joe Torre charges, looking for the bunt. Eddie Mathews, who was a little bit more located on the strong side, didn't come in too quickly. He was not too sure whether or not Mcgraw would be bunting. He wasn't at ball 1. Now the left-hander back again. And he picks up a strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly kicks high with his right leg as he comes toward the plate. Braves lead 5-3 with 1 away in the top of the fourth. Kelly back again, and the ball hit the right field, a base hit. Bobby Klaus rounding the second base, holding there, and Hank Aaron holds onto the ball. Mcgraw gets to first base and holds there. So the Mets now have runners at first and second. The tying run is at first base, and Tug Mcgraw has his very first Major League base hit. Tug batting at this point, .500, 1 for 2. And the batter coming up is Chuck Hiller. Out in left field, it's Chad, let's go Mets. And the Mets have the time run at first. Chuck Hiller's scheduled up, and Chuck is going back to the bench, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Joe Christopher batting with the left-hander in the mound. Joe has had 4 for 4 in his last 4 pinch hitting attempts. He also has walked, so with the unofficial time, he has got on 5 consecutive times. Braves use pinch hitters in the second inning to get back in the ball game. Delahose and Ty Klein. Ty Klein driving in the second run as a pinch hitter. He was batting for the pitcher. Mets now trying to get back in the ball game as they send up Joe Christopher with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. They trail by 2. Christopher, a right-hand batter. He takes a 246 average to the plate. Was a pinch hitter in the first game and walked. And his first pitch is taken low. It's ball 1. One ball and no strikes. On deck batter, left-hand batter Johnny Stephenson. Now Dick Kelly in the set position and back to the plate. And the pitch is looped toward the shortstop. He takes it on 1 hop, throws over to second in time for the ball there. Relay on the first base is not in time. Moving to third in the 4th out, Bobby Klaus. Close play at first base, but Christopher hustling down the line beat the throw by just a fraction, and it kept the Mets' hopes alive. Braves pick up their second out, and now Johnny Stephenson is being called back, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, a right-hand batter for John. Coming up, Jim Heckman. Jim in the first ball game had a good day. He had 2 hits and 4 times up, was robbed of a base hit by the shortstop his third time up. So Jim 2 for 4 for the day, now batting for the 5th time. Hickman's average is climbing up steadily. Got off to a horrendous start. Is now up to 195. Jim will likely stay in the ball game in right field. Now the first pitch to Jim, low for ball 1. Johnny Stephenson had 1 hit and 2 times up against the right-hand pitcher, Hank Fischer. He was a starting pitcher, got off the hook. He was pitcher of record on the losing side when he was taken out. Braves scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the second to get him off. Pitch back is lofted in the air, back to second. Going back is Frank Bolling. It might drop in. It's going to. Going from third base is Bobby Klaus. Going to third and sliding in there is Joe Christopher. So the Mets have picked up a run on the pinch hit single by Jim Heckman. A looping Texas Leaguer that dropped in back of the second baseman by Frank Bolling. And now the tying run has moved over to third base, and Ron Swoboda is coming up. Swoboda stepping in. Ron singled on a change of pace his first time up and then grounded out to short. He hit the ball well in the first game, but was 0 for 4. Right-hand batter. And his first pitch is taken low. It's ball 1. Ron leads the club in home runs with 16. Second in runs batted in with 38. Batting .247. 5-4 game. The Mets trail by 1. 2 men out, bottom half, top half of the 4th. The next pitch is hit foul on the ground. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 on Ron Swoboda. Joe Christopher at first base. At third base, Jim Hickman at first. Dick Kelly looking at first and now back to the plate. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Foul tip, actually, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swoboda off to get some rosin. Or evidently a new bat. He is changing bats. He's going for his 2-strike bat. That really isn't too unusual. Some players do have different bats for different occasions. He hadn't seen Kelly, so possibly he might be going to another weight bat against the left-hand pitcher. Two-strike bat would have to be a little bit wider than the 1-strike and no-strike bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. He takes the strike 3, and that retires the side. But the Mets in the inning score a run on 2 hits. There was 1 walk, 2 men were left, and the score at the end of 3.5. Milwaukee 5, the Mets 4. And now a word from Viceroy Cigarette.
Which filter cigarette should you be enjoying today? Some brands taste too strong, as if they didn't even have a filter. And some taste too light. You know the kind. They never seem to satisfy your taste. But there is an answer, and here it is.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. The taste that's right.
That's right. Viceroy. The fact is, Viceroy is specifically designed to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. When you try them, you'll agree. Viceroy's got the taste that's right.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. The taste that's right.
Well, the New York Mets are trying to keep their right-hand batters in the ball game against the left-hander Dick Kelly. So Jim Hickman has stayed in the ball game. He was a pinch hitter for John Stephenson. Jim going into center field. The center fielder, Johnny Lewis, is being taken out. And Joe Christopher is in the ball game. He was a pinch hitter for Chuck Hiller. Joe will be in right field. Also in the ball game, as Bobby Klaus was moved over to second base, and Chuck Hiller was taken out. Roy McMillan, he is at shortstop. Roy will bat in Johnny Lewis's spot in the batting order, the 6th. And Doug Mcgraw starts off his work here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, pitching to the leadoff batter, Philippe Liu, and he gets the strike. Liu is 0 for 2, batting at 281. Right-hand batter, and his next pitch, a changeup that misses a little bit high. So be counted 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have a defensive alignment now of Swoboda in left field, Jim Hickman in center field, and Joe Christopher in right. But now of Swoboda in left field, Jim Hickman in center field, and Joe Christopher in right. All right-hand batters. A good breaking curve, too low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. In the infield, Eddie Kranepool at first base. Bobby Klaus moved over from short at second base. Roy McMillan at shortstop. And at third base, Charley Smith. Pitch back it on the ground towards second. Bobby Klaus hauls it in as he moves to his left. His throw to first base gets Philippe Liu. So Mcgraw gets his first out here in the bottom half of the 4th. It brings up Frank Bolling. Frank is 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up. Batting for the first time against Mcgraw. Mcgraw came in the game with no one out in the bottom half of the 3rd. He struck out the side in the 3rd, but issued 2 walks as his first man here in the 4th. Bolling, a right-hand batter, and he takes the first pitch he calls strike. Bolling batting .279. And the left-hander Mcgraw back again, but this one too high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Astros defeated the Giants 5-2. The winning pitcher, Claude Raymond, his 6th win, he has lost 3. Taylor helped him out. He came in the game in the 6th. Gentile and Schofield had home runs. Losing pitcher, Gaylord Perry. Fly ball hit into center field. Jim Hickman moving back, now turning and making the play. So Hickman, newly in center field, pulling up with his first foot up. And it brings up Hank Aaron. Hank was out on a great play by Johnny Lewis his first time up. Johnny playing in center field at that time. The second time up, he singled a line drive single to left field. Right-hand batter. He's had 2 hits and 6 times up in the doubleheader. 1 for 4 in the first ball game, won by the Braves 5-1. First pitch is too high. It's ball 1. Change of pace by Doug Mcgraw. Braves 5, the New York Mets 4, with 2 men out, bottom half the 4th. And Mcgraw back again, this time with a curve that's too low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. On deck batter, Gene Oliver. It was his 2-run home run that put the Braves in front 5-3. The lead cut later on to 5-4. 2-0 delivery is hit hard. A drive by the third baseman, Charley Smith, down the left field line. A 2-base hit. It's cut out by Ron Swoboda. It's throw in, and Aaron goes into second base, trotting and standing up. So Hank Aaron with another vicious drive. This one between Charley Smith and the bag, a 2-base hit. Well, Hank Aaron, his 19th 2-base hit. And now the Braves have a runner in scoring position with 2 out here in the bottom half of the 4th, and Gene Oliver coming up. That was the first hit off Doug Mcgraw. Gene Oliver, in his last 6 ball games, has had 10 hits and 19 times up. He has driven in 11 runs and had 3 home runs. Right-hand batter, his first pitch a curve looked at it, strike 1. Oliver with that hit action, now raising his average to 269. 8 home runs and 30 runs batted in. Not much of a chance to pitch around a hot batter in this lineup. They've got some fine hitters. Pitch back is outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. After Gene Oliver, Eddie Mathews, who has had 2 home runs in the doubleheader. They both came in the first game. And after that, Joe Torre. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the next pitch, a curveball popped up. Roy McMillan calling for it. Roy getting ready for his first chance, and he makes the play to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, a double by Hank Aaron. No errors, 1 man left. And the score at the end of 4. Milwaukee 5, the Mets 4. And now, once again, here's Bob Murphy.
Okay, Ralph, we'll be going to inning number 5 in a 5-4 ball game. Milwaukee leading by a single run. You know, in honor of the Mets passing the 1 million mark in home attendance at next Friday night's game against the Phillies, some lucky fan will win 2 round-trip tickets to San Francisco via American Airlines for the Mets Giants series of August 16th, 17th, and 18th. The winner will be a guest of a hotel in San Francisco and will receive tickets to the games, spending money, and an autographed bat and ball of the New York Mets. There also will be a meeting and photographs with Casey Stengel and Yogi Berra. Now, right here, before we go to the 5th inning, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on the dial, this is WGY and WGFM, Schenectady.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kinder from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Eddie Kranepool leads off against left-hander Dick Kelly as the game now goes to inning number 5. Dick Kelly starting his 3rd inning in relief. The tall left-hander winds and pitches, and the fastball is high. 1 ball, no strike. Cincinnati got 2 runs in the 3rd inning against Pittsburgh. They lead the Pirates 2-0 after 3 innings. Pittsburgh won the first game 6-5. Ground ball, a roller hit right at Bolling. He comes up, throws to Torre, 1 man down. 1 away and nobody on. Now Charley Smith coming up. Charley had 1 for 3 in the first game, and he has 1 for 2 in this one. Charley singled home a run in the first inning. Braves in front, 5-4. Inside and high, ball 1 to Charley Smith. Charley's hitting .270 with 33 runs batted in. Braves have the outfield around the left and fairly deep. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll be on the air at 8:25 tomorrow night. Series winds up with a day game Tuesday afternoon. It's in at the knees for a strike. One ball and two strikes on Charley Smith. The 1-2 delivery by Kelly is a foul ball wafted back up over the press box. No play. Ball bounces to the net and back down to the field. Playing field here at County Stadium in beautiful shape. Inside and low, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dick Kelly started the year in the International League. Foul ball hit down the third baseline. He got off to a great start with Atlanta, and so the Braves brought him up. He has appeared in 11 ball games since joining the Braves, has started 3, has won none and lost 1. Earned run average of 3.3. Check swing and a foul ball hit down the first baseline, no play. It's 2-2 on Charley Smith, and the pitch by Kelly way outside. Oliver reached up and made the snag. So the string goes out 3-2. Braves are on a 5-game win streak. The Mets are trying to stamp a 7-game loss streak. 3-2 delivery. Ground ball hit down to third, a foul ball. Fielded by Eddie Mathews, no throw made. Jack Fischer will be pitching against the Braves in the game tomorrow night. Roy McMillan is in the on-deck circle. Mack's record remains intact of playing in every ball game this year. Pitching 3-2. Foul tip. Here today, the Mets are playing their 13th doubleheader of the year, and number 14 will be next Sunday at Shea Stadium when the Mets and the Phillies play 2. 3-2 delivery. 2 highs, ball 4. Now Roy McMillan steps in to hit for the first time in this ball game. Mack did not start the ball game. Now the left-hander, Dick Kelly, checked his runner. Here's the pitch. Fly ball hit down the right field line and headed toward foul country. Now Dick Kelly glancing back to check with his second baseman and his shortstop. And they wave the center fielder, Mack Jones, a little bit over toward right center now. Outside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets play hit and run a great deal with Roy McMillan. There goes the runner, hit and run, and a fly ball hit in the air to short center field. Mack Jones comes in, he's under it, and he makes the catch. Now there are 2 away, it brings up Bobby Klaus. Bobby was as short in the early part of the game, is now playing second. The Dodgers are in the last of the 9th inning, trailing Chicago 3-1. However, the Cubs have made a pitching change in the 9th, and Lindy McDaniel has been brought in. line drive hammered to center field. A base hit by Bobby Klaus. Charley Smith will stop at second as Jones plays the ball back in, and Bobby now has his second hit. He doubled 2 runs in the first inning. Chris Cannizzaro coming up. Chris has batted twice. Both times been called out on strike. Mets have out hit the Braves in this ball game 8-6, but they are trailing 5-4. Ground ball hit down to third, fielded by Mathews. He races to third and beats Charley Smith for the force play that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. So we've come halfway. At the end of 4.5 innings to score, the Milwaukee Braves 5 and the New York Mets 4. Is this one of those days when you're not yourself? You'll feel more so when you listen to this.
I'm not myself at all, Molly dear, I'm not myself at all.
This song gets sung over and over at Irish parties and picnics until the singers raise a ferocious thirst. Then they change their tune.
Come fill up your glasses and drink what you will. I'll remind you of me every day.
This is a traditional Irish drinking song, and often the beer they drink is Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Irish than in the whole of Dublin, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Irish Americans like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
I'm a man you don't meet every day, every day. I'm a man you don't meet every day.
Last of the 5th inning, it's Eddie Mathews to lead off against Tug Mcgraw. Eddie hit 2 home runs in the first game today, has been up twice in the second ball game, and walked both times. Eddie leads the Braves in home runs and in runs batted in. Tug Mcgraw winds the pitch on the way. A ground ball hit hard through the hole. A base hit to right field. Joe Christopher plays the ball back towards second, and Mathews jumping on the first pitch. Singles to right field. That brings up Joe Torre. Torre has singled to left and been struck out 1 for 2. Joe is hitting .309. 17 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Curve is in for a call strike. Mack Jones on deck, and then Mike Delahose. Mcgraw checks his runner. The pitch to Torre, a fastball drives him back to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. They compiled a complete breakdown on the Braves hitting over the first half of the year, and Torre was 1 of 2 who hit just as well against right-handers as he did against left-handers. The 1-1 pitch. Inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Mcgraw up in pitching position. The 2-1 delivery. A high fly ball hits his short right. Christopher comes in. He's under it. He has it 1 man down. Well, the Dodgers got 2 in the 9th inning to tie the Cubs 3-3. That game will be going to the 10th inning. Lindy McDaniel is in relief for Chicago, and Howie Reed in relief for the Dodgers. It's an important game for the Dodgers. Cincinnati, the second-place team, lost the opener of a doubleheader today to Pittsburgh. However, the Reds lead the nightcap 2-0 after 3.5. Mack Jones takes it inside, ball 1. Houston toppled the Giants 5-2. And the Cardinals beat the Phillies 3-1 on Tracy Stallard's 5-hitter. High infield pop fly. The Sun's going to make this one tough. McMillan battling it on the edge of the outfield grass, takes it for the out. The angle of the sun is very difficult at this particular time of the day as far as those high infield pop flies. Now there are two away, and the hitter coming up is Mike Delahose playing shortstop. He came on as a pinch hitter for Woody Woodward in the second. He lined out. He drew a walk in the third inning. Strike one call. Say, have you ever wanted to give the Mets a little help? Now's your chance. Enter Wrangles Manage the Mets contest. First prize, a holiday for two in California via American Airlines. 900 Mets ticket prizes. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Get your entry blanks wherever Rheingold beer is sold. This contest is for New York State residents only. Fly ball to left field, hit off of a changeup. Ron Swoboda comes in. He's under it. Makes the catch to side to top. So Tug Mcgraw goes through the Braves again in the 5th inning. That's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 5 complete. The score, the Braves 5 and the New York Mets 4. Well, of course, you wouldn't have time to enumerate all the facts and records of the tremendous players who are coming back to Shea Stadium for the Old Timers game next Saturday. Babe Herman, the Brooklyn legend, was the first player in the major leagues to hit a home run in a night ball game. That was at Cincinnati against Brooklyn, July the 10th, 1935. The Babe compiled a lifetime .325 average, playing with the Dodgers, Reds, Cubs, and Pirates. The presence of 6 Hall of Famers adds special luster to the ceremony. Max Carey, the Maury Wills of his day, led the league in steals 10 different seasons, still a major league record. Scoops holds the modern National League record with 738 lifetime stolen bases. The old Flash, Frankie Frisch, led the league in base hits and total bases in 1923. Carl Hubble, farm director of the Giants since his retirement as a player back in 43, pitched 46 consecutive scoreless innings in 1933. Ed Roush carried a lifetime .325 batting average into the Hall of Fame. Zach Wheat was a solid .317 lifetime hitter. They'll all be at Shea Stadium next Saturday on Old Timers Day. And the Clown Prince of Baseball, Al Shack, will be there. We go to the 6th inning with Tug Mcgraw leading off against Dick Kelly, and a swing and a miss, strike 1. Tug singled to right field in the 4th inning. Now he tries to bunt but misses, strike 2. Braves won the opener 5-1. Tony Cloninger going the route to win his 11th game. 2-strike delivery. Foul ball hit back toward the visiting dugout. Up by Kelly. Here's his pitch on the way, and it drives Mcgraw back from the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Dick Kelly in relief has now struck out 3, and that brings up Joe Christopher. This will be Joe's 2nd time up. He was a pinch hitter for Chuck Hiller in the 4th inning. Kelly Kelly, a tall left-hander, starts Christopher off with a slow curve that's over for a call strike one. Night game here tomorrow night, a day game Tuesday, then on to Pittsburgh for a game on Wednesday night. Drive hit on the air to right field, backing up is Henriera, and he's there and makes the catch. 2 men down. Jim Hickman will be hitting for the second time. Jim drove in a run with a Texas Ligger to right field in the 4th inning as a pinch hitter. His 19th run batted in. And an off-speed delivery taken high, 1 ball, no strike. Minnesota 2, the Angels won after 5 innings in their second ball game. The Angels won the first game 5-3. Swing and a miss by Hickman, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 delivery by Kelly is hit foul back toward the Mets dugout, no play. Kelly out of his windup. The pitch to Hickman, a slider off the outside corner. Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Yogi really made tracks getting back here to be on the coaching lines in this ball game. Foul ball back to the screen. He played in the old-timers game in Cleveland. The minute the old-timers ceremonies were over, he changed clothes, dashed to the airport, caught a 3 o'clock plane, and was back on the coaching lines after 3 innings of this ball game. Now the 2-2 delivery. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. He got him with a fastball. 4th strikeout by Dick Kelly. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. At the end of 5.5 innings, the score, the Braves 5 and the New York Mets 4. Are you one of those people who go to a German-American picnic and can't sing because you don't know the words? Then listen. Wir kommen alle, alle, alle in den Himmel, weil wir so brav sind. La, la.
Wir kommen alle in den Himmel is a song that gets sung over and over at German parties and picnics until the singers raise a fearful burst. Then they change their tune. Beer here is the traditional German call for beer, and often it's Rheingold Extra Dry they call for. In fact, in New York City, where there are more Germans than in all of Heidelberg, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do German Americans like Rheingold? We don't know. But we must be doing something right.
Milwaukee pitcher Dick Kelly comes up against Tug McGraw in the last of the 6th inning. Mets had the early lead in this ball game. They got 3 runs in the 1st inning. The Braves got 3 and tied the game in the 2nd. Then Oliver hit a 2-run homer, putting Milwaukee in front 5-3 at the end of 3. The Mets got 1 run back in the 4th inning, so it's 5-4 as the Braves hit in the last of the 6th inning. Strike 1. Tug McGraw has been getting more work as the season has gone along, and he has shown a lot of improvement. He tried to hold up on the swing and the fastball, but he was unable to do so. Strike 2. Stacy has been contemplating giving Tug a start on one of the road games before long. Struck him out. He threw the fastball right by him. That's strikeout number 4 by McGraw. It brings up Philippe Liu, the leadoff batter and left fielder. Philippe has fouled out, reached on an error, and bounced out to second. Batting at 280. speed pitch inside at the knees. 1 ball and no strike. And the curve is over for a called strike. 1-1 on Philippe Liu. Mcgraw in his last 2 outings has been the most impressive. He's been getting both of his pitches, his curve and his fastball, over. And anytime he gets them both over with any consistency, he is tough to beat. Now the fastball is under the knees. 2 balls and a strike. In Los Angeles, the Cubs and Dodgers now go to the 11th inning, tied up 3-3. The Dodgers got 2 in the last of the 9th inning to tie it. 2-1 delivery. Foul ball back into the screen. Count 2-2 on Alou. Now Mcgraw over the head. Down comes the pitch. The curve is hit through the hole into right field for a base hit. Joe Christopher fires it back into Bobby Klaus, and Alou is on with a single to right. That is the 3rd hit off Doug Mcgraw since he came on in relief. The batter is Frank Bolling. Bolling has flied to right, struck out, and flied deep to center field. The runner goes, a fly ball hit in the air to center field. Jim Hickman drifts back, makes the catch. Now Alou retraces his steps to first base. Braves are playing hit and run. Henry Aaron comes up. Henry is flied deep to center, single to left, and double to left, 2 for 3. Henry hitting .326. Eddie Kranepool holding against the runner Alou. Fastball in, strike 1 call. Clean-up batter, Gene Oliver, kneeling in the on-deck circle. Now Mcgraw steps off and bluffs the throw to first. Down comes the pitch to Aaron. A pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Cannizzaro really rifled that one down to Kranepool. He was deadly serious trying to get him. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Hank Aaron. Henry, a lifetime .320 hitter. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball hit toward the middle. It goes through, a base hit. Alou around second is flying to third. The throw to third is not in time. A throw to second. Safe at second base. Close play. Aaron makes it to second. Hickman threw to third, trying to head off Felipe Alou. That was not in time. Wasn't close. And Smitty then pegged to second to Bobby Klaus, trying to get Aaron, but Aaron makes it. Henry Aaron now has 3 hits in a row. So Gene Oliver is coming up now with runners on second and third, 2 men down. Oliver put Milwaukee in front 5-3 when he hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Strapping Gene Oliver, right-hand batter. Mets play him to pull around the left. Under the knees, 1 ball and no strike. Bobby Bragan has had Oliver batting cleanup in both games today to take advantage of his hot bat. Runners on second and third. And now it's Mcgraw. It takes quite a while in getting his sign from Chris Cannizzaro. Gene Oliver decides to step out. Here's the windup. Down comes the pitch. Hit hard, but foul down the left field line. Oliver a little bit too far out in front. Pulled it foul. Had the ball been fair, Charley Smith probably could have handled it all right because Charlie's protecting the line against Oliver. Now Larry Benarth and Gordon Richardson are both on call to the Mets bullpen. The 1-1 delivery. Curve, a good one on the outside corner, a strike. Oliver didn't think so, and he asked Chris Pellicudis about it. The longest stretch Tug had put in any one ball game this year had been 2 1/3 innings. This is his 4th inning in this ball game. Pitching 1 and 2. Foul tip. Just stayed alive. And Cannizzaro was nicked by the foul tip. Philippe Liu is on third. Henry Aaron on second, 2 men down. Braves with a 1-run lead, 5-4. Key situation here, the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss, he struck him out. Doug Mcgraw, the 20-year-old first-year southpaw from Vallejo, California, stands Gene Oliver. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. Now, at the end of 6, it's the Braves 5 and the New York Mets 4. And now to detail the play for you and to tell you about another fact from the Viceroy Hall of Records, here's Lindsey Nelson.
Say, how many Major League teams can you think of that got their nicknames from their stockings? The White Sox, of course, and the Red Sox, and the Cincinnati Reds. But there's another one. You see, the striped socks the Detroit team wore were what inspired sports writers to call that team the Tigers. Okay? Next question. How come Viceroy's got the taste that's right? Here's the answer. Viceroy is specifically designed to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Now, some brands taste too strong, as if they didn't have a filter. And others taste too light. They never seem to satisfy your taste. But Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the filter for the taste that's right. Some folks even sing about it. Listen.
Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Not too strong and not too light. The taste that's right.
We're going to the 7th inning, but before we do, let's pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on the dial, this is WGY and WGFM, Schenectady.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at County Stadium in Milwaukee, and Ron Swoboda is up, and he takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. Swoboda is 1 for 3 in this game. Here's a breaking ball swung on top deep to third. Taken in fair territory by Mathews. Sidearms to first and in time. Got him by running stride. 1 away, and that brings up left-hand batter Ed Kranepool to face left-hand pitcher Dick Kelly. Kranepool in this game is 1 for 3. Ed hitting .288 for the season. The Braves are leading the Mets by a score of 5-4, and we're in the top half of the 7th inning of the second game. Pitch is low for a ball. The Braves won the first game by a score of 5-1. Pitch is fired in for a called strike. 1-1 to Kranepool, who right back to take it. At Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, the Cubs did not score in the top of the 11th. Here's a pitch low and away. 2-1 to Kranepool. So the Dodgers are coming to bat in the bottom of the 11th, tied 3-3 with the Chicago Cubs. It's Lindy McDaniel against Howie Reed at this point in this game. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and foul back. Out of play. 2-2 to count.
Come on,
The 2-2 pitch. Fired right in there for a called strike three. Dick Kelly gets Ed Kranepool looking. Strikeout number 5 for Kelly. 2 away for the Mets batting in the 7th, and Charley Smith is coming up. Single to drive and a run in the first inning. 1 for 2 and a walk in this game. Time has been called for a moment, and Chris Pellicutis is asking the public address announcer to make some sort of an announcement about something that's happening in center field. And it's not clear to me what, except some youngsters are hanging over the railing, and perhaps that is it. Pellicutis was making signs out that way, and Bill Jakowski, the umpire at second, wasn't sure what it was either, so he goes out now to take a look. And Pellicutis started back to home plate, now walks back over toward the dugout of the Braves. The youngsters have just about dispersed out in center field. They were at one of the exits, and apparently were on their way out when they stopped for a moment. Mack Jones in center field looks first to the plate and then behind him, and then to the plate and then behind him, and he's not sure what it is. Apparently one of the youngsters has a mirror and has been shining the ball, the mirror, reflecting the sunlight into the home plate area. And that's what got the attention of plate umpire Chris Pellicutis. Apparently one of the youngsters was using a mirror to reflect the sunlight in toward the batter. And the public address announcer has asked that he stop. 2 men out. And the pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 to count. Charley Smith waits and then swings and drills it foul down into the runway leading up to a bleacher area in left field. Count of 1-1 to Charlie. Big sign up says Braves autographs. The Braves have signed 2 ball players each day to come down early and sit down there and sign autographs for youngsters who line up to get them. Here's the pitch outside. Wonder how that works out. I always had an idea the youngsters didn't enjoy it as much as though they would if they just run after them and get them themselves helter-skelter. Here's a pitch low inside. Dick Kelly goes behind 3-1 to Charley Smith. I always figured an autograph was no good either if somebody else got it for you. It seemed to me that one of the rules of the game was you have to get your own autograph. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike, 3-2. I'll admit around the ballpark there are an awful lot of youngsters who ask people for autographs and they haven't the remotest idea who they're asking. They just take a chance, that's all. Payoff pitch, swung on and foul back at third. Count holds at 3-2 to Charley Smith. Braves lead the Mets 5-4 in the top half of the 7th inning here. It's sometimes interesting to watch a youngster ask somebody for an autograph and then try to read it as he walks away, sometimes mumbling to himself. Payoff pitch. Swung on, top down to third, and it's in fair territory. It's taken by Mathews and winged to first in time for the out. So the side's out in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And the score at the end of 6.5 innings is Milwaukee 5 and the Mets 4. It's very hard to sell sheet music in Jamaica, you know. They make up songs whenever they need them like this.
Having a party, eating rice and peas, dancing happily as you please. Charming lady with a very nice smile. Think I'll talk to her for a while. Think I'll talk to her for a while.
When Jamaicans get together for a party, the beat is calypso and the songs are made up on the spot.
The party was hilarious as it could be, but in the morning there was news for me. The penny was a man waiting soon on his wife. The smiling lady is now my wife. The smiling lady is now my wife.
And when the singer finds his throat a little dry, something refreshing will be improvised. Probably Rheingold beer. In New York City, where there are more different kinds of people than in any other city in the world, more people drink Rheingold Extra Dry than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do Jamaicans like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
We're going to the bottom half of the seventh now, and Eddie Mathews will be coming up. One of the attendants went out to center field to see if he could do anything about the mirror flashing out there, and I don't know of a great deal he did. He walked around, and then he comes back. The Indian in the teepee came out to look the situation over, and he is also retired. And now Eddie Mathews steps in. Walked, and had a ground single. He had 2 home runs in the first game here this afternoon. The one won by the Braves 5-1. Braves are leading in this one 5-4, and the pitch to Mathews is tight, rocks him back. Doug Mcgraw, since relieving Tom Parsons, or Gary Kroll, rather, in the bottom of the third with no one out, has struck out 5 and walked 2. Mathews swings on a big breaking curveball and misses. It's 1-1. Doug Mcgraw looks for his sign from Cannizzaro. 1-1 pitch. Low for a ball. 2-1. Cannizzaro has caught both games of today's doubleheader. Again, looks for his time. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and pops up foul back to third and chased over by Charley Smith in foul territory. Makes the catch. Mathews has fouled out. There's one away, and now the batter will be Joe Torre. Torre's 1 for 3. Single struck out and flied to right. Braves have 5 runs on 9 hits, and the Mets have 4 runs on 8 hits. The Braves figure that they still have a very excellent chance to win the National League pennant. So let up, it's in there to Torre for a called strike. Just struck him out with a big change in the bottom half of the third inning. So he started him off with a big change this time. And the pitch. Breaks in there again for a called strike 2. You guessed that Torre was waiting for that fastball for a couple of pitches. McGraw delivers, breaking ball, and it's fouled off this time. Chopped down. Out of play. We'll be on the air tomorrow night at 8:25 p.m. New York time with the third game of this 4-game series. Pitch swung on. Foul back off the screen, out of play. Count holds at 2 strikes. Two-strike delivery. The let-up swung on and missed. And so McGraw strikes Torre out. That's the second time today that McGraw's done that. That's number 6 for Tug. 2 away. Nobody on base. Mack Jones coming up. He's 1 for 3. McGraw struck out Jones. Caught him looking in the bottom of the third. Left-hand batter facing a left-hand pitcher. McGraw deals. A little tight, a little high. Ball 1. Delivery. Low for a ball. 2-0. The Mets took an early lead in each of these ball games. In the first game today, Chuck Hiller led off with a home run, first man up. To give the Mets a 1-0 lead, but Eddie Mathews hit a second inning home at a tie, and the Braves got 3 in the third. Pitch is low and away, so McGraw goes behind 3-0 now to Mack Jones. In In this game, the Mets took an early lead by scoring 3 runs in the top half of the first inning. They did it after 2 were out. But the Braves got 3 in the bottom of the second and 2 more in the third. The Mets added 1 in the fourth, and that's where we are. The Braves lead 5-4. Pitch is low, and Mack Jones draws a walk. Third walk issued by Mcgraw. Puts speedy Mack Jones on at first and brings up Mike DeLahoz, the shortstop. DeLahoz is nothing for 2 and a walk. Set. Pitch is swung on and pops up foul out of play, back of the plate. Strike 1 to DeLahoz. Jones takes the lead at first base. McGraw's pitch, breaking ball, a little high. At Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, the Dodgers got a run in the bottom half of the 11th inning to beat the Chicago Cubs 4-3. Howie Reed is the winning pitcher, and Bob Henley is the loser. Dodgers really battled back to win that one. If you do that all season, you win the pennant. Here's Jones running. The pitch is low. The throw to second, and he is out at second base. Cannizzaro's throw right on the money, and Bobby Klaus made the tag. It goes 2-4. Jones out trying to steal, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left, and the score at the end of 7 is Milwaukee 5 and the Mets 4. Now let's look at all the scores around the Major League. Just a big baseball day. Sunday in July. At Cincinnati, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Reds 6-5 in the first game. Don Schwall got the win in relief, and Roger Craig just lost in the loss in relief. Willie Stargell had a homer for the Pirates. Pete Rose and Vader Benson had homers for the Reds. The second game is going to the 6th inning, and the Reds are leading 6-0. Joe Gibbon against Joey J. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Phillies 3-1. Tracy Stallard got his 7th win. Bo Valinski took the loss. Johnny Callison had a Philly homer. Lou Brock and Tim McCarver had Cardinal homers. The Houston Astros beat the Giants 5-2. Claude Raymond the winner. Gaylord Perry the loser. Jim Gentile had a Houston homer. Dick Schofield had a Giant homer. Dodgers beat the Cubs 4-3. Reed the winner. Henley the loser. Ron Santo had a homer. The American League, Boston beat Cleveland 4-1. Moorhead over Curley. Max Alvis had a homer. Baltimore beat Detroit 4-1. Wally Bucker the winner. Hank Gary the loser. Luis Aparicio had a homer. The Washington Senators shut out the Yankees 3-0 on a 2-hitter by McCormick. Mickelson was the loser. Frank Howard had the homer. First game of a doubleheader. The Los Angeles Angels 5. The Minnesota Twins 3. Newman the winner. Cat the loser. Rigosi and Menchu had the homers. Second game has been held up because of rain after 6 innings, with Minnesota leading 2-1. McBride against Grant. The White Sox beat Kansas City 3-2 in the first game. And it was Locker the winner and Wyatt the loser. And the second game through 3 innings with the White Sox leading 2-0. Talbot against Peters. Hansen had a homer. McMillan's up for the Mets now, and the pitch is in for a call, strike 1. Here is a breaking ball, catches the outside corner for strike 2 to Roy McMillan. Here's a pitch missing inside for ball. It's 1-2. As a chant of "Let's Go Mets" started from down below. There's a swing and a foul ball to the right side. Count holds 1-2 to McMillan. As you know, the Mets AAA Farm Club is at Buffalo. And this afternoon, playing Syracuse, what was scheduled to be a 7-inning game, they were tied 4-4. So it went into extra innings, and in the first extra inning, Buffalo scored 11 runs to win 15-4. Here's a pitch high and away for a ball. 2-2 to McMillan. We're in the top half of the 8th inning with the Braves leading the Mets 5-4. Swing and a miss, and Kelly chucks up his 6th strikeout. Bobby Klaus is the batter. Klaus doubled to drive in 2 runs in the first inning. He singled in the 5th, and he walked in the 4th, so he's been on base 3 times. The swing and a pop down the right field line. Henry Aaron moves over, still chasing it across, and one-handed in foul territory for the out. Henry Aaron just kept coming and finally one-handed the ball. That will bring up Chris Cannizzaro here on the top of the 8th. Dick Kelly on the mound for the Braves was brought on to start the 3rd inning after Hank Fischer, who started, had been removed for a pinch hitter. Manager Bobby Reagan decided to go to his bench there in the bottom of the 2nd to try to get back in the ball game, and it worked out because the Braves got 3 runs and had it tied. He hit for his shortstop and hit for his pitcher in the 2nd inning. Swinging a foul ball back and out of play. Strike 1. Out, nobody on base. That's a fastball in there for a called strike to Cannizzaro. A 2-strike count. Chris drops his bat, picks it up, walks back around a little bit, and now comes back into the batter's box. Here's a pitch missing low and away. 1-2. Kelly looks for a sign, has it now. The 1-2 pitch swung on and popped up. At second base, Frank Bolling is there. He puts it away, and the Mets are out in order in the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left, and the score at the end of 7.5 innings is the Braves 5 and the Mets 4. Here's a very sad French-Canadian song about a fellow who lost the key of his clarinet. Listen.
J'ai perdu le dos de ma clarinette. J'ai perdu le dos de ma clarinette. Ah, si papa, il savait pas mal.
J'ai perdu le dos de ma clarinette is a song with the kind of humor French Canadians love. But one song leads to another, and the first that follows is no laughing matter. Grand un petit coup is what they'll sing as they reach for a beer. Probably Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more different kinds of people than in any other city in the world, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. And Rheingold is going great in New Jersey, New England, and Pennsylvania, too. Why do French Canadians like Rheingold? We don't know, but we must be doing something right.
In the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Mike Delahose up to lead off for the Braves. He was at the plate when Mack Jones was thrown out attempting to steal to close out the 7th. Doug Mcgraw in his longest stint ever in the Major League. Longest he'd gone was 2 1/3 until today. Came on with nobody out in the 3rd. So he's pitched 5 innings and is ready to go to his 6th here. To this point, the Braves have 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error, and the Mets have 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. We have had a 1 home run in this ball game. Gene Oliver hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Delahose is in and waiting. He's a right-hand batter. Doug Mcgraw's pitch, low and inside for ball. Dick Kelly in the on-deck circle. Here's a 1-0 delivery. Swung on and fouled off. And that one Nick Cannizzaro. Down on his knees. The mask falls off. Trainer Gus Marsh comes out. And it's waved off. Apparently Cannizzaro's all right. Gus got halfway out. Turned around and went back. Ron Swoboda calls time and comes in from left field. I would guess that he's looking for sunglasses. The sun is very bright out in the left right now. He is in the dugout, and he comes out now, sunglasses in hand, and is heading out to left field. Swoboda taking a moment to get the sunglasses adjusted and on. Takes off the cap now. Gets them on. Readjusted. Now leans over to pick up the glove, and we're ready. 1-1 the count to Mike Delahose. Breaking ball, and it's high. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Swung on and fouled out to the right side, out of play. Runs the count to 2-2. Chris Kelly, who's pitching most of this game, the Braves are scheduled to pitch 2-2. 2-2 pitch to Delahose, and it's high for a ball. So the Braves have just announced that they are probable for Tuesday now is Hank Fischer, who started this game and worked 2 innings. Ed Mcgraw with a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled out. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Oh, 3-2. That started with Lewis and Turner and Johnny Stephenson in right. But when the left-hander, Dick Kelly, came on, changes were made. Ed Mcgraw, 3-2 pitch. Swung on and pops up. At second base, Bobby Klaus retreats to the rim of the outfield grass and makes the catch. One away, and Dick Kelly will be the batter now. Been up 7 times this year without a hit. Getting quite a hand from the Milwaukee fans here. A crowd of 12,127 paid, plus 4,614 Little Leaguers. That's quite a turnout in Milwaukee this season. There's a swing and a looper into right, and Christopher moves over and he makes the catch. 2 away. And now it's leadoff man Philippe Liu, who is 1 for 4. The Braves are leading the Mets 5-4 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Pitch hits in front of the plate. It's handled by Cannizzaro on 1 hop and fired back to Mcgraw. Ball 1. Mcgraw's pitch. Down the left field line for a base hit. Should be for extra bases. On to the wall. Run down by Swoboda. Philippe Liu goes in standing at second with a double. And now it'll be Frank Bolling coming up. Here's your first chance to see Joe Namath play professional football when the New York Jets get into action in their big intra-squad charity game at Columbia University's Baker Field, Saturday, July 31st at 2 p.m. For tickets, call OR 71400. All proceeds go to your police athletic league. With 2 men out, the Braves have a runner at second. Frank Bolling is the batter. He's nothing for 4 in this game. The pitch swung on and hit 1 hop to Charley Smith at third, and he makes the play on in time to retire the star. No runs, 1 hit. There is 1 left, of course, the end of 8. The Braves 5, the Mets 4. Charley Smith took that ball and just sort of made a move as though to tag Felipe Alou, who's ducking and dodging him, and so Smith just laid it on over to first. The ball was well hit, taken by Charlie on 1 hop. Why don't you make your plans now to be on hand next weekend for the big series between the Mets and the Phillies? The Phillies will be at Shea Stadium next Saturday afternoon. That's Old Timers Day, and next Sunday for a doubleheader. There'll be ceremonies next Sunday to celebrate the 75th birthday of Casey Stengel. Casey's birthday is on July 30th when the Mets are in Philadelphia, but this will be the last home date prior to his birthday. Mayor Robert Wagner of New York has proclaimed Friday, July 23rd as Casey Stengel Day in New York. Casey will be on hand at City Hall next Thursday for the ceremony.
In announcing the honoring of Casey, the mayor said, quote, "There is great personal pleasure in the opportunity to recognize Casey's contribution to baseball and the city of New York at such a significant milestone in his remarkable career." Unquote. So we hope you'll be on hand for the series at Shea Stadium next weekend. Right now, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
810 on the dial, this is WGY and WGFM, Schenectady.
Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Cantor and Bob Murphy at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Billy Cowan is batting for Tug McGraw, and the first pitch is low for a ball. Cowan, with a season's average of 198, has 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Kelly's pitch, swung on it on the ground is short. Mike Delahoe is up sidearms to first to Joe Torre, and Cowan is grounded out short to first. Joe Christopher is the batter. The Mets are 1 run back here in the top half of the 9th inning. Left-hander Dick Kelly, the pitcher of record. And the pitch is in there for a called strike. Mr. Christopher swung on. Broken bat ground ball back to second. Taken by Bolling. Thrown to first and just in time. Ground ball up the middle, but the broken bat took a lot of the power off of it, and Bolling had time to get over and take it behind the bag at second. Pitcher Dick Kelly got a glove on it, apparently, and it scored 1-4-3. Now Jim Hickman is up. Kelly with the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Braves 5, the Mets 4. The Mets batting with 2 men out and nobody on base in the top of the 9th. The Braves won the first game of today's doubleheader by a score of 5-1. Swing and a foul ball. It's backing out of play. Hickman hit a home run in the St. Louis series. That was a tremendous wallop into the center field section, where only about a half dozen have been hit while Major League ball has been played there. 1-1 delivery, and it clicks off the handle of the bat for a foul ball, and it's 1-2. We'll be on the air tomorrow night at 8:25 p.m. to bring you Braves and the Mets. Pitches outside, misses everything, comes all the way back to the screen. Ron Swoboda is on deck, hoping to get a chance. Dick Kelly looking in to get a sign from Gene Oliver. Count is 2-2 to Hickman. The pitch swung on and missed, and Kelly strikes him out to end the ball game. The Braves have won both games of the doubleheader, 5-1, and this one 5-4. 7 strikeouts for Kelly, as Hickman is out swinging in the top of the 9th, and the Mets in the 9th, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We'll be back in a moment with the final summary and totals right now. The final score of the game is the Braves 5, the Mets 4.